here's 3 exercises for elbow pain that you're probably not utilizing. The reason for that is oftentimes an elbow issue or pain in the elbow isn't coming from the elbow. The pain is actually coming from elsewhere, or the workload is being pushed down to that elbow and now it is overworking. So oftentimes the issue is actually up at the shoulder or even the scapula or the shoulder blade. A lack of stability or a lack of strength will often push that workload further down the extremity into the elbow, and that's where it manifests. So a lot of times we can treat the elbow all day long, and you can do elbow rehab, elbow strengthening, all of that kind of stuff. But if we never address what's further up the chain, you might continue having kind of a cyclical reproduction of that elbow pain, which can be super frustrating. So stay tuned for 3 exercises that are a little unconventional, but can be super helpful for your elbow pain. The next exercise is one that most of us are familiar with, but there are some energy leaks in it that can be refined, and so that we can get more out of that exercise. So the bent row is the exercise that we're gonna do. And what it's gonna help us do is work with our pulling strength. Most of us don't have as much pulling strength in the upper back as we need. And again, that's what pushes that workload down to the elbow. It makes it work harder, and then it develops overuse injuries in the joint or tendonitis, things of that sort. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna post up. We're gonna keep that spine nice and straight, have that weight back or weight down to the floor. We're gonna set that shoulder blade kind of down into our back pocket. So we're keeping that shoulder away from the ear. And then we're gonna pull, instead of pulling up to the shoulder that I see a lot, so that's gonna target a little bit more front of the shoulder, sometimes even irritate a little shoulder impingement. We're gonna pull that weight back to the hip. And by doing this, we're gonna get more engagement of our muscles on the back, not so much the bicep and the extensors and flexors of the elbow. So instead, we're getting to utilize more muscles around that shoulder blade and offload some work from that elbow. The last exercise I'm gonna show you is gonna target more of the coordination and stability of that shoulder blade or scapula. So for most of us, our shoulders round a little bit forward. That shoulder blade doesn't rest right on the rib cage where it is most effective. So one of the things we need to do is mobilize it, but do it in a controlled way that helps us have a little bit more body awareness around that, and then keep workload from pushing further down that arm, particularly into the elbow and wrist. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna have your hand rested on your side of your thigh. We're gonna take that shoulder blade through a big controlled circle. So you're gonna take that shoulder blade nice and high. You're gonna keep it high, but take it over toward the spine, keep it on the spine, take it low. And we're just taking it through a nice controlled circle. You might feel some clicks, pops, or might even feel just a little bit clunky or uncoordinated. But the more that we do this, the smoother that will get, and therefore more stability and awareness will get in there. And then we'll also reverse that circle, again, nice and slow, just kind of exploring that motion and just getting a better feel for it, so that when we're setting up for an exercise, we can kind of lock that scapula or shoulder blade kind of down into a nice stable anchor spot, which then keeps shoulder, elbow, wrist, everything down the chain a little bit happier. Now, if you are still experiencing elbow pain, it can be a very frustrating process to get you back into your workouts, back to your full activity. It can be super helpful to find a provider or clinician that specializes in musculoskeletal health, injuries, tendonitis, all of those types of things. So if you do find yourself in that position, we have more resources on our website at TruMotionTherapy.com. Where we are sports chiropractors that specialize in anything related to a joint, muscle, nerve, anything of the like, and we would love to help you out. So check that out. You can either find our resources on that website or also the ability to schedule an appointment with one of our providers.